no one explains you until you deep dive in it, right? So I
Agreed.
was having that kind of a talk. So yeah.
Mm.
So it was interesting to be, like just learning each and every day and
Mm.
trying to figure out new concepts. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. No, so see, the thing about indicators is that so there are basically two types of indicators when we will discuss in future sessions. So some of them are called leading indicator, some are lagging indicator. So lagging indicator gives you an indication based on the data which it is processing backwards. So it is saying that okay, if this thing has happened in the past, okay, the market should go up and go up to so much percentage. Similarly, leading indicators gives you the data that if this thing has happened, what kind of reaction market has given in the next 2 to 3 trading sessions, or how market should be behaving in the immediate future. So there are two ways on how to look at the indicators, and indicators sometimes they do give a false signal as well. So one has
Correct.
to
Right.
look at it in a very discretionary manner, and one should always work with a stop loss. So basically, what is happening in your case, and that is exactly what used to happen with me as well. So I let's say for the first 20 days, I'm making 100 rupees a day, and there'll be one day or next 2 days I'll be losing all of that. Why?
Correct.
Because I was not working with a concept called stop loss. So stop loss is nothing but a hedge. So that is like if the market is going against me, how much I am ready to give to the market, and that I can take it as some sort of a learning that okay, market is not going as per my theory or as per my analysis. No problem. I will pay a price for being wrong, and it's absolutely fine. And I will be outside the market and will be observing the market now. But what I used to do in initial phase was that I never used to put a stop loss. I was like, I am the king of the market. I have made money for the first 20 days. There is no chance I will not make money for the next 20 days as well. So,
So
and that is what is the
coincidentally, it
biggest
happened
mistake.
with me as well. Like
Yeah.
each and everything which you mentioned. So what I did, like for me, like I'm currently trading in equity market, and
Mhm.
so let's say I buy an XYZ stock at some random price, right?
Mhm.
If the stock is going up, definitely I'll sell my holding, right?
Mhm.
Or else if it is going down, then let's say I take a loss at
Mhm.
initial point and it
Mhm.
goes below that point, right?
Mhm.
Then I'll buy it back. So I
Mhm.
have my holding. Since I sold that particular stock and bought it on the same day, it will be an intraday. So I
Agreed.
will be, yeah. So just because of that, like on daily basis, it's going down. I'm doing the intraday
Mhm.
earning, but at
Yeah.
the end of the day, I'm losing money because I'm not earning in real hard cash, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of I'm earning on paper. I hope you
Agreed.
understand, right?
Agreed.
So these silly mistakes, which like because we never have a mindset of if you are coming to the market in order to earn money, then
Mhm.
one should also have the psychology or the mindset or the discipline that
Mhm.
okay, if on per trade basis, this is the percentage which you are
Mhm.
willing to lose if you
Mhm.
are wrong, right?
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
yeah, that's that, right?
Agreed. Great. So let me just. I think there are one or two people who want to join. They're having difficulty in accessing the link. Okay, so I think they will join in the meantime. Let us start. So we have Kashyap, Alicia, and Yash to start with. So let me just do one thing. Let me just share my screen. Let me know once my screen is visible. Yeah, is my screen visible to all of you? Hello.
Yes, visible.
Okay, great. So let us start today's topic, a very interesting topic, and maybe start off your journey into the technical world. So we'll start with what is the agenda for today. So we'll discuss about the technical analysis. What is technical analysis? What are its components? How to do technical analysis. Then we'll also discuss about the difference between two broad spectrums. One is the technical analysis. The other one is the fundamental analysis for evaluating the price of a stock. So we'll differentiate between the two. What is the difference between technical and fundamental? What are the pros and cons of each? Then we'll talk about charts. What is a chart basically and how to use them. Then we'll go into another interesting concept and the basis of technical analysis, what we call as candlesticks. So we'll discuss how they are formed, what is basically candlesticks, what are the basics, how they are formed. And then we'll see on the Bitcoin chart as a live case study how we can combine both candlesticks and the charts. And then in the next session, we'll be discussing about the different types of candlesticks and also some jargons that people use in day-to-day markets. I'm long, I'm short, I bought options, I bought put, I bought call. So all those jargons we'll discuss in the next session. So starting with the first part, what is a technical analysis? So as you know, in life, everything is based on probabilities. So there is some probability that okay, tomorrow I'll be going to office. There can be okay, 50% probability, yes, no. If I've already decided that yes, tomorrow I will be going to the office, then there can be a possibility that my car may not start. There can be a strike. So there is no 0% probability and neither there is a 100% probability of any event whatsoever other than an output from a robotic machine. So yeah. So market, like life, is all about probabilities. So there are some 0% probability events which hardly have happened, but they also will not be like 0%. They'll be having something like 0.001% probability. And there are some sure shot events which will also have 99.99% probability. So you never know which way the wind may blow tomorrow morning. So technical analysis, what technical analysis does is it increases the probabilities based on the statistical trends. So we have a lot of data. So we know that this particular stock or this particular index, once it starts increasing from a particular price, it can go till 2%, 3%, 4% based on the statistical analysis of the previous 5 years data, 10 years data, 15 years data, so on and so forth. So technical analysis, it analyzes those trends and gives you some kind of indication whether to buy a particular stock, whether to buy and when to buy, and whether to exit a stock and when to exit a stock. So all those in entry and exit points of a particular trade with an increased probability is given by a technical analysis. It is also a tool to evaluate the supply and demand zones based on various parameters like the price of the particular asset or a stock or an index, the volumes. So what do you mean by volumes is number of stocks which have traded at a particular price point. So for example, there can be a price point. Let's say Reliance is somewhere around 2,100 rupees. So how many people are ready to buy Reliance at 2,100 and how many people are ready to sell Reliance at 2,100? That is what we call as volume. And also statistical analysis is also based on the momentum strength. So let's say market is increasing by 1%, 2%. How strong is the momentum of the market? Whether the market is bullish, whether the market is bearish. So all those analysis based on the past trends are given by technical analysis. So in a nutshell, it basically reads the historical data and predicts the future, thereby increasing the probability of the trade. probability of a favorable trade. So whenever, as we discussed in the last session, whenever we are going into a trade, there are only two things which can happen broadly. Either you will make a loss or you will make a profit. So there is no other thing which can happen in a trade. It is not that the market will stop. So market will continue. So either the price will go up from your buying price or it will go down from your buying price, or it will remain there. But that if it is a liquid stock, there is a small probability of a price remaining at your buy and exit point. So basically we are starting with a 50% probability that yes, either I'll make profit or I'll make a loss. But when I have introduced a technical analysis and I am pretty much knowledge, I have some kind of knowledge about indicators, how to do technical analysis, what is a candlestick. If I can read the candles better than my counterpart in the market, then I have a better probability of snatching the money from his pocket, right? And as we discussed last time, market is all about snatching the money from others' pockets. There is no hard science about that, because see, Nifty or Sensex or Bombay Stock Exchange, they don't generate, they are not like banks, okay, that if you have if you are into a profitable trade, you will take some money from the bank. No. Whereas if you are doing an FD, even if you are not doing anything, the bank will still give you something from his own pocket, right? Let's say 4% FD, 5% FD. So that money you are taking from bank's pocket without even doing anything. But because bank is generating money on its own through various other avenues. But stock market does not have any avenue. If let's say I have put 1000 rupees into the stock market, and let's say for example, a person XYZ has also put 1000 rupees in the market, the total money which is available in the market is 2000 rupees. Now, at the end of the day, if let's say I am a buyer and the other person is a seller, and when I bought the price, the price has gone up by 10%, then I am snatching some kind of money from that 1000 rupees the other person has sold the particular stock at. So basically, a technical analysis increases your knowledge, enhances your probability of making a favorable trade. Moving forward, so what is technical analysis? We have just discussed. Now we'll discuss about what is a fundamental analysis of a particular stock or a particular company, and what is the difference between the two. So as we just discussed, that both these tools are forecasting tools, but they are at the opposite end of the spectrum. A fundamental analysis gives you the intrinsic value of the underlying stock. Let's say, for example, Reliance. Now, if I have to do a fundamental analysis of Reliance, I would like to find out that what will be the intrinsic value based on the profits that Reliance is making, the amount of cash it is having, the EBITDA percentage. I mean, these are all hi-fi CA words, so not to get overwhelmed by that. But fundamental analysis analyzes the value of the company based on a lot of financial ratios. So let's say there is one ratio called P by E, which is price to earning ratio. That is, if the price of Reliance is 2100 and the earnings per share of Reliance is, let's say, 2000. So the price to earning ratio for Reliance is 2100 divided by 2000. Now, let's say I've got a ratio of 1.1 for Reliance. Now I will evaluate, okay, what is the financial ratio, the same financial ratio for the same counterpart of Reliance. So a counterpart of Reliance can be ONGC, for example. So ONGC is also doing oil riggings and also into refineries. Reliance is also into refineries. So I can see that, okay, the price to earning ratio of Reliance is higher than that of ONGC. So what will happen? Market will balance the two. Either ONGC price will increase or Reliance price will go down. So that is how you do a fundamental analysis of a particular stock. You try to find the intrinsic value of the stock, and then based on that intrinsic value, you either buy or sell that stock. Now, what is the difference between the technical analysis and the fundamental analysis? The technical analysis is based on two broad factors. One is the price of the stock and the volume which have been traded at that particular price point. Whereas in the fundamental analysis, It is all about evaluating the financial ratios and then taking the macroeconomic scenario also into the picture. Now, for example, what happened during COVID time? So during COVID time, Reliance or most of the stocks, they fell by close to 50%, 60%. Now, because there was a sentiment in the market, the macroeconomic scenario of the economies and the market was not good. So market was going down by 5%, 10%, even it was going into the lower circuits kind of scenarios as well. But in technical analysis, you may have got a buying trigger that, okay, Reliance has gone down from 1,500 to 1,200. There will be many indicators in technical analysis which may say that, yes, let us go and buy the particular stock. But the fundamental analysis will say that, yes, the macroeconomic scenario is not good. So we should not be buying that particular stock. So both are giving some kind of analysis, but in opposite direction. So what are the pros and cons of technical and fundamental analysis? So pros for technical analysis is that it gives you short-term indications that, okay, let's say buy Reliance for 5% gain, for 10% gain. And it ignores the noise. It just sees the past trend of that particular stock or index and predicts the future. Technical analysis doesn't take into picture whether there is any COVID or whether there is abundant liquidity or whether the federal chairman of US has given any kind of dovish or hawkish scenario. It does not take that into consideration. It just takes the past trend of the price and then gives the immediate forecast for how the price will behave in the immediate future. Whereas if we talk of the fundamental analysis, it is more of a long-term analysis and also captures all the noise or the sentiments of the market. What are the cons of both? So technical analysis, it assumes that the market will behave in the same manner. As I just discussed, it will not take into picture any kind of black swan events like what happened in subprime crisis or COVID crisis or dot-com bubble. If there is a dot-com bubble, there news will be flashing that, the prices of the IT stocks should go down. But the technical analysis may say that the price has corrected by 5%. It is one should go and buy that particular stock. But if you look at the news channel, you will see that, yes, we should be selling that particular stock. So technical analysis does not take into picture any kind of news, sentiments, macroeconomic scenario, so on and so forth. Whereas fundamental analysis is highly time consuming, gives you a long-term perspective, not a short-term perspective. So not very good for trading perspective. Also, it requires some kind of analysis about financial ratios. So you can say that maybe a CA or a chartered accountant may have an edge in doing a fundamental analysis as compared to an engineer who doesn't know about the financial ratios or the balance sheet of a particular company or an asset. So that is about the technical and the fundamental analysis. We have discussed the two ends of the spectrum in detail, and also we have compared the two. And there is not, we can't say technical analysis is better or fundamental analysis is better. It depends on where you can do and which one you can do better and have expertise in. So as we just discussed, I'll go back to the same narrative. It is about having more knowledge, either about technical analysis or fundamental analysis, more knowledge than your counterpart. Because the counterpart is where you have to steal the money from in the stock market, as simple as that. Moving forward, so now we'll discuss about another topic called as charts. So what is chart and how to analyze the charts? So as we can all see, chart is nothing but the price of a particular asset, stock price, or an index. The price is there on the variation of the price with time. So price is there on the y-axis and we have time on the x-axis. And we can see that, how the prices have varied of a particular stock in a given period of time. Now, if we can see in these four charts, all the four charts out of the same index known as Sensex. So you can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. All of them are of the same index, but the the time duration of the chart is different in each one of them. So what we can see, this is showing 1 month chart. So what do you mean by this particular 1 month chart is that each candle, as we will be seeing in the upcoming slides, what is a candlestick? So we can see that these red and green bars, these are basically what we call as candles. We'll discuss more into the detail in the upcoming slide. But what we can see is this gives us the variation of the price for 1 month. So one candle here is being made for 1 month. Whereas in this particular chart, one candle's duration is for 1 week. In this particular chart, one candle's duration is 1 day. So this is taking care of 1 day. So if we take 20 or 30 candles and we combine them into one, we will get 1 month candle. Similarly, this is for 60 minutes. And as we can see in each one, that this data or this particular chart is giving me the analysis from 2014 till 2021. This is giving me an analysis from 2019 till date. This is giving me analysis from, let's say, from the month of April of this year till date. And this one is giving me an analysis of 4th of or 3rd of August till date. Now, what is the similarity in all four is that their last price is the same, because that is the price of Sensex or the value of the index at that particular time. So we can see that 55,260.94 is the same in all four. But how the candles have been made is very different. So as you can see here in 2020, March, April and May, there was a huge drop because of COVID. So which is also visible in a weekly candles. So these are like one week candles. You can see the drop in the prices of or drop in Sensex on a weekly basis. This is giving me, so when I combined 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, I get 1 monthly candle. When I combined 5 trading days day candles, I get 1 weekly candle. And when I combined 7 or 8 hours of trading session candles, 7 hourly candles, I get 1 day candle. So that is about the charts. Charts are nothing but the variation of price of a particular stock, asset, index, whichever underlying price you want to check, variation of that price with time. That is all about what is known as a chart. Now we have to discuss about what these charts are made of. So if we can go and see, now charts can be of different. There are different ways how we can make a particular chart. So for example, this is Bitcoin. So if instead of candle, this is also the same chart. This is what we call as line diagrams or line chart. Then there is another one called candles. This is what is the candle. Although all of them are giving the same price as the last price or the variation of the prices, but in a line diagram, you can't see the fluctuation in the price. Line diagram will only give you the end price of that particular time frame. So for example, if I see what is line diagram or line chart is showing me is that on 21st of August, because this is a daily time frame, on 21st of August, the price was somewhere around $49,000 for 1 Bitcoin. Today it has dropped to $48,500 for 1 Bitcoin. Yeah, but this is only giving me a broad story. If I want to go into the details, maybe what I can do is I can do a 1 hour chart. Now I can see that, okay, on 21st of August, the price was 49,723. Now the price has gone down to 48,697. So this is giving me the fluctuation between 21st and 22nd of August. The same line diagram, because now I can see here I am seeing here I'm seeing the fluctuation for 1 day, how the prices have fluctuated in 1 day, right? But this is, if you can see here, the price has not even gone. It is not even showing 49,700. The highest price this one is showing, if I can just take a horizontal line, the highest price it is showing is 49,335. But if I go to hourly chart, I can see that the price has actually gone above that as well. So this is how you can refine your same chart, but you can refine it in a different manner. Okay, now there are other form of chart which is called known as candlesticks. So candlesticks we'll discuss. This is also another way of representing the same price. If I go to 1 day chart, this is the 1 day chart for a candle, and this is a 1 day chart for line diagram. You can see that, from 49,438, it has dropped down to 48,770. Now, if I'll make it a candle, I'll get more details. Now the candle is telling me that no boss, the price even went to 49,755, but now it has come down. Whereas the line diagram is nowhere showing me the same. Then there are other types of diagrams. This is like hollow candles. This is very much like candlesticks, but a different way of representation. Then there is another chart we would have seen, which is known as area kind of chart. This is the complete area which is being captured by that particular price. So that is about the charts and different ways of how you can have the variation in the chart. The variation in the chart can happen by two ways. Either you change the time frame of what time frame you want to see the chart, or you change the way you want to see the chart. If I am a novice, I will be working with a line diagram. If I have some kind of technical analysis and I know how to trade the candles, I will be going with candles. I'll make candles and I can predict how the price will fluctuate of this particular asset, which is Bitcoin, in near future. Yeah. So on the same chart, if I can make a 4-hour chart, the picture will be entirely different. So there are two ways how a chart will vary. Either you change the way you want to see the chart, or you change the time frame of the chart. So that is about how we want. What is a chart all about? It is nothing but the variation of price, which is on the y-axis, with time frame, which is on the x-axis. Now we'll discuss about what is a candlestick. And people, if you are involved in stock market or trading world, candlesticks is one word which I think you will hear in every conversation related to technical trading. So Japanese invented this technical analysis tool to analyze price movement on the charts. So when the rice trading used to happen in Japan, in the physical market, they used to make these candles to see that how the price will behave in the next 15 minutes, in the next 1 minute, in the next 1 hour, in the next 1 month, in the next 1 year. That is based on what kind of time frame you are analyzing for the candles. So candles are nothing but, imagine that there is a fight between bull and a bear. So bull and bear we discussed last session, that bull is nothing but when the price is expected to go up. Why? Because bull has horns and bull takes a particular enemy and pushes him in the air. So because he pushes him in the air, that means the price will go up. And bear, on the other hand, with its claws, it tries to paw down the enemy. So it brings the price down. That means the bear. So whenever we say it is a bullish sentiment means the price is expected to go up. A bearish sentiment means the price is expected to go down. Now imagine a fight between a bull and a bear. And what a candle will show is, first of all, candle will declare the winner. Let's say if bull and bear are fighting in a battlefield, let's say if we are analyzing 15-minute candle, So a candle will give us the result after 15 minutes that who won and what was the margin of the victory. So let us see what is a candle made about. So if you look at, if you don't go by the normal terminology that a candlestick will have a candle and it will have a wick and a fire, nothing like that. These candlesticks are something like this. It has two broad parts. One is the body and the other one is the shadow or the wicks. Now, if anybody of you can unmute your mic and tell me the difference between these two candlesticks, if you can just observe and tell me that what is the difference other than the color difference, what is the other difference you are observing in these two candles?
I believe that on the left-hand side,
Yeah.
that is a bullish candle because left-hand side, because in the lower section, I can see that it is mentioned as open and it is closing at a higher price on that particular day or time period.
Yeah.
And on the right-hand side, it is vice versa. It is completely opposite.
Yeah.
So I believe that left one is bullish and the right one is a bearish candle.
Bearish candle. Okay. Yeah. So what is a candle all about? So you can see upper shadow, both high, both same, low, both same, but this is the open price and here this is the open price. So these two have got interchanged. So how a candle is formed or a candlestick is formed, both the words are used interchangeably. It has something called an open price, a low price, that is, let's say the price started at, for Reliance, it started at 2000 rupees for this particular time frame, whatever the time frame we are taking, whether we are taking for 1 hour, 15 minutes, 1 minute, so on and so forth. How the price has varied in this particular time frame. So let's say from 2000 rupees, the price went down to 1990, came back to the open price, which is at 2000 rupees, went up to 2050 rupees, and then closed this particular time frame, let's say 1 hour time frame, at 2040 rupees. So this will become the body. The difference between the close price and the open price gives the body of the candle, and the difference between the high close and open low in case of a bullish candle gives the wicks. This is what you call the shadow or the wicks of the candle, and this is the body. This is the body and these are the wicks or the shadow of the candle. Similarly, if you see here in this particular example, the Reliance price opened at 2040, went till 2050, came down to 2040, didn't get any kind of support, dropped further to 2000 rupees, and then closed at, dropped further to 1990 rupees and closed at 2000 rupees. So this is how you make a candlestick. There is a very simple thumb rule about candles. That means the bigger the body of the candle, the stronger is the conviction. So see, you can see that larger the body, more is the conviction. Larger the shadows, more is the confusion. I'll repeat again. Larger the body, more is the conviction. Larger the shadows, more is the confusion. So what I mean by that is, if there is a huge difference between the open and close price, whether up or down, it says that it is a strong signal or a strong conviction. And this is the difference between open and close is giving the margin of the victory. Whether the bulls have won or the bears have won, the margin of the victory is given by the body of the candle. Whereas the highs and the lows or the shadows of the candle give the confusion. In that particular scenario, let's say if the open and close price is exactly the same, that means in some part of that particular time frame, let's say for first 10 minutes, bulls were winning. For last 10 minutes, for last 5 minutes, bears were winning. And at the end of the day, at the end of the 15 minutes, neither the bulls nor the bears were able to win that particular trading session of 15 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hour, whatever time frame you are looking at. So the larger the body, more is the conviction. That means, let's say if the open price is 2000 rupees and close price is 3000 rupees. So we will see a big body, a strong body. That means the bulls have completely outplayed the bears. So that shows the conviction in the market that no, even at 2000 rupees, people are buying, at 2020 rupees, people are buying, at 2050 rupees, people are buying. So conviction is increasing even with increased buying price. Whereas if the price went till 2050 and came back and the bears were able to bring it back to the open price, which is at 2000 rupees, that means there is only confusion. Market is not able to decide whether the bears are winning or the bulls are winning. Yeah. Now we'll go and look at one live example. So how the candles are formed and how we can say which particular aspect is winning. Now let's say for this particular, I'm taking 1 minute candle for Bitcoin. So that means after every 1 minute, this will make one candle. So all these, each one of them, this one, this one, this one, each minute we will get one candle. You can see something is forming here. You know, here, this is the open price. Let me just. This is the open price, that is 48,786. You can see it here. 48,786 was the open price. The bears were able to bring it down to 48,773 in this particular 1 minute, or you can see take this particular candle. Yeah, so you can see that from here in this particular time frame, that is from India time 10 o'clock till 10:06. In this wave, there was a complete victory of the bulls. You know, all these green candle are showing that, you know, bulls are winning. But then at this point of time, the bears were like, enough is enough. Now I have to make a comeback. And also because bulls have been trying from, let's say, 48,692. You can see the price here. From 48,692, they were constantly fighting and bringing it to 48,869 in 5 minutes. They have also lost some kind of strength, right? Because every minute they are fighting. Bulls are fighting, bears are fighting. Bulls are fighting, bears are fighting. Bulls are winning, bulls are winning, bulls are winning. But you can see that, you know, the margin of the victory is slowly and steadily is diminishing. Why? Because you can see the market slowly and steadily, the bulls we can see it very clearly. Bulls were losing their steam. And at the end of this particular candle, bears came and brought the market price back to 48,770. Nearly 50% of the gains of the bulls, bears were able to bring it down. Of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, bears were able to bring it down in 3 minutes, 50% of the price. Yeah, and you can see this is the open price of the candle. This is the low, and this is the place where the candle closed for this particular minute. Now you can see there is a gap. This candle closed at 48,790, but this candle is opening at 48,770. So there is a $20 difference between these two candles. Why? Because, you know, bears are bringing the price down. Bears are fighting. See, you can see the candles are forming a red. So here the bears were fighting. Bears lost some steam. Bulls started gaining, but no, bears are again coming back into the market, trying to bring the price further down. So let us wait and see how this one minute candle is made. So every 14 seconds or every minute, there will be one new candle which will be forming. Why? Because we have taken 1 minute time frame in the candlesticks. If I increase the 1 minute time frame to 5 minute time frame, I will see something entirely different. I will see something entirely different. For last 15 minutes, the bulls have been trying to bring the price up. At the end of the day, so let's analyze each of these 5 candles. It's a very interesting scenario. In this particular candle, bulls started from 48,481. They were fighting. Bears are losing the ground. Bulls are winning. Bulls are winning. Bulls are winning. They were able to take it to 48,642. But then slightly bears made a comeback, brought it down to 48,621. So the open price is somewhere around 48,473. And open price is also the low price for that particular candle. Open can equal to low. I mean, everything can be equal to everything as well. So high can also be equal to low for a particular candle. Why? Because if the candle is like this, something like this, open price, high price, low price, everything is the same. So bulls won. Again, bears tried to bring it down. You can see from this particular high to this particular low, bulls tried to bring it, bears tried to bring it down. They were not able to be successful. Bulls again made a strong comeback, took the price up. Bears again tried to bring it down. See the fight. Bulls, bears, bulls, bears, bulls. And now on this particular candle, you can see that neither the bulls nor the bears were able to win. Why? Because the open and close price is nearly the same. This is where you get an entry point. You can see that, okay, our bulls have been winning for such a long period of time. Bears have to make a comeback. It's a fight, you know. And more the for a longer period of time, a particular person is winning. It is not the other way around that the other person has become weak. The longer a particular person is winning, the more strength has been consumed from that person. Now here the bears are waiting. Bears are waiting for this kind of candle where they have made a strong comeback. This candle started at this price. Bulls were not able to bring it higher. Bears tried to bring it down. They even brought it down below their open price also. Bulls gave a last fight and closed this particular candle at the opening price. But now in this particular candle, bulls have completely lost it. Bulls have completely lost it where there is no upper shadow. You can see in this one. Sorry. In this particular candle, there is an upper shadow, there is a lower shadow, and a very small body. Open and close price is nearly equal to the same. Why? Because at this point of time, both the bulls and the bears are fighting hard, and market is not able to decide, or candle is not able to decide who is the winner. Now in this particular candle, you can see that bulls tried to bring it up. There is a very small shadow, which you can see here on the top. Bulls tried to bring it again up, but bear said enough is enough. We are in the power and in the command now. Bulls brought it down. They brought it down to 48,745. Bears. Bulls again tried to make a comeback. They were not able to be successful. Market is again going down. And another concept that we have to learn here is market will never travel like this in a straight line. Even if market has to go from this point to this point, market will go something like this. It will go up, it will come down. It will go up, it will come down. It will go up, it will come down. And then it will reach here. Why? Because there is always, for bears or bulls to win, there has to be a fight, right? If there is no fight, that means there is the stock is not liquid. So in that particular stock, there are either only buyers or only sellers. And that kind of scenario we hardly see in the market. So we generally see that market goes up, will come down, market goes up, will come down, market goes up, and now see coming down. It's a very simple concept. Now, if we go to 15-minute chart, we will see an entirely different, see the drawings that we have made. The way they are looking in a 5-minute chart is entirely different than a 15-minute chart. is entirely different than a 1 hour chart and is entirely different than a 1 day chart. 1 day chart, we can't even see what is happening. Now, and what is the concept between, using different time frames? The concept is nothing but the conviction. So for example, if I have to look at a chart, my trading style will be dependent upon the technical skill set that I have. Whether I can trade a 1 day candle, which will have a more time frame, a bigger time frame, more bulls and bears fighting and a clear winner, or a 1 minute candle where every minute the bulls and the bears, see, you can see every minute the price is changing and the bulls and bears. I'm not able to make out whether I should go and buy this particular stock or whether I should try and sell this particular stock. Why? Because every minute the candle color is changing. That can also happen in a one day chart, but this gives a stronger conviction. The bigger the time frame that you are using, the stronger is the conviction of going into that particular trade. Why? Because for this one complete day, that is on 19th of August, complete day bulls were in the power. For 18th of August, now let us see here. Another very interesting concept. Bulls on 13th of August, bulls brought the market from 44,320 to 47,908, a gain of close to around close to 9% gain in a single day. Yeah, so that means bulls are in complete power. But as I said, the stronger the momentum or the stronger the bulls have been able to fight. Now there is an opportunity. Why? Because bulls have been fighting. Will be a tendency when the bulls will become a bit weak or will become tired. That is where the bears will start coming into the picture. So imagine, like a game of chess. Bulls are like, okay, we are winning. Bears are like, okay, no problem. We are on the defensive. We are waiting for our opportunity. Bears are waiting for the opportunity. Bulls are winning. Bears are waiting for the opportunity. Now here the bears started entering. The overall scenario or overall trend of the market is what is up. So market has moved from 37,500 to 49,321. That means a gain of close to around 33% in just 16 trading days. 33% returns in 16 trading days. But has the market moved in this way? No. Market has moved. First, it has gone up. It came down. It again went up. It again went down. It again went up. It again went down. Now it is again going up. So all these big candles you can see are of a particular color. Green color you can say, or blue color. That means the overall big time frame trend is in the positive direction. The market is bullish. But market is will not move in one direction. Market will always be, even if it is a bullish scenario, market will go up, it will slightly retrace. Again, market will go up, it will slightly retrace. Again, market will go up, it will slightly retrace. It is like a caterpillar, how a caterpillar works. Even if from one point to other point, caterpillar doesn't travel in a single direction. It goes like it converges himself or itself and then moves forward, converges, then moves forward. In the same way, the market behaves. Market never behaves in a one-sided direction or a one-sided kind of a scenario. So this was about how candles are made and how we have seen that how to analyze the candles of different time frames. And these candles are nothing but they are giving a sort of an entry and exit points. Now, whosoever will be knowing some kind of technical analysis, he will see some kind of chart patterns. Now, what can be a chart pattern? We'll discuss, we'll have a one dedicated session about that. There is a one chart pattern known as bullish flag. So you can see this is the pole of the flag. Then the market went into a retrace and market will again go up. This is one kind of chart pattern. Then there is another chart pattern called head and shoulders. So if I can see some kind of head and shoulder pattern, there is no head and shoulder right now at this point of time. This is what we call as bearish chart pattern. Market went down. Then from here it made, this is the pole, this is the flag. Exactly opposite of what we are seeing here. It is exactly opposite. So this is a bearish pole and flag. This is a bearish pole and flag. Why? Because market was, even if market has to go down, it will not go down like this. It will go down like this. It will come up, it will come down, it will come up, it will come down, it will come up like that. You see, from here to here, market did not move like this, one single direction. It went down, it came up. This made a pole and flag, bearish pole and flag, broke that particular chart, broke that particular pattern, went down again came up, went down again came up, and now here it started consolidating. And how we will make an entry is, one way of making an entry is, one can see that, this is again, the channel has been broken. The channel has, so this is an advanced version. So how I'm saying that how a technical analyst will see these particular chart patterns. No, he will see the candles. Okay, market here, he will make one entry here. It's a bearish scenario, made a pole and flag pattern, broke that particular chart. This was acting as a support. So one support, two support, third time it broke down. When it broke down, it will make an entry somewhere here. Here it will make an entry and it will place its stop loss somewhere around this point. It will go into a short sell. Short sell is nothing but you are selling a particular stock or a particular asset which you do not own. Why? Because you are selling it here and you will buy it here. What is basically the profit in trading? The difference between buying and selling price. So what you are saying is, okay, no problem. I am seeing that the market is in a downfall. I will sell first and then later on I will buy. So this is nothing what we call as short selling. So I can see that, okay, I know something about technical analysis. If I don't know what I will, if I don't know anything about technical analysis, what I will do? Okay, market has gone down from 64,000 to 47,000. Let me buy. No, because I don't know anything about stock market. So market has gone down so much. Bitcoin has fallen from 65,000 to 48,000. How much it will fall more? Let me buy. For first 2 days, 3 days, he will start enjoying that. See, from 48,000, it has again come back to 58,000. But within no time, it broke that 48,000 also and dropped down to 33,000. Now, if I am not having any kind of stop loss in the market, then I will be in a huge loss. Whereas I'm as a technical analyst, because I've got a trigger signal here, I am ready to sell even at 51,000. From 65,000, market has corrected to 51,000 and I'm still ready to sell and make money. This is the beauty of technical analysis. And this is where, if you have this knowledge that, okay, there is something called a pole and flag chart pattern, and once that pattern is broken, I can go short. If I have that kind of knowledge, I will be pursing some kind of money out of the pocket of the novice who has bought at this price and will be in huge losses at $35,000. I hope I'm able to make some kind of sense here. So here we have captured some good concepts. One, we have captured what is the beauty of technical analysis as compared to a novice person, number one. Number two, what is a candle? How to analyze a particular candle, whether the overall pattern is bearish, bullish, who is winning? Either the bulls are winning or the bears are winning. Number two. Number three, what is a concept of short sell? Short sell is nothing but selling first, buying later. So for example, I am living in a house. Okay, I am living in a house, I am the owner. What I can do? I can only sell that particular house. But if, for example, my neighbor is ready to sell or is ready to buy, for example, there is some customer in the market who is ready to buy my neighbor's house. I will talk to my neighbor and say, okay, boss, you are ready to sell at $55,000. I am giving you $55,000. Take it from me. Okay. Now, when the market will go down, I will buy it back at 35,000. So my margin money is, or my profit is close to $20,000. Why? Because I have sold it at 55,000 and now I am buying at 35,000. Similarly here, I've sold this particular Bitcoin at 51,000, bought it at 35,000. Concept of short selling also clear in this particular example. Also, how to place stop loss, or the concept of stop loss and target. Now, if I know that, okay, this is a pole and flag chart pattern, market, if it breaks the lower leg of the channel, it goes down. But you know, market is supreme. Even if you use hundreds or tens or thousands of indicators, they will nothing which will be called as 100% surety. So in order to prevent yourself from these outside Six Sigma kind of events where you know that the price will go down, but still you don't want to take complete risk, you will put a stop loss. How you will put a stop loss is you will put a stop loss above this particular range. Why? Because this is acting as a resistance. Another concept is coming here. This is acting as a resistance. Resistance is nothing when the price is going up, where it is finding the ceiling. So as I said, no, the price will never go up like this. Price will go up. It will find some kind of resistance. It will wait here for 1 or 2 days. Then it will break that resistance, go up again. It will wait for 1 or 2 days. It will break that resistance again, will go up. It will now when the price has to fall, it will not fall in a single straight line. It will fall like this. It will fall like this. It will hold on. This is known as support. Once it breaks this particular support, it will again go down. It will again go into consolidation, known as support again. So here, if you can see it here, let me just refresh the chart. So many concepts we are touching upon today, short selling, buy, resistance, chart patterns, etc. Let me just, yeah. Now, another good concept we will discuss today here is what is support and what is resistance. People will always say, this price is a support for Reliance and this price is a resistance for Reliance. Now, support and resistance is nothing but a version of technical analysis where we see that, okay, the price, this particular Bitcoin price has taken resistance many times at this price. This price is what? 60,000. It tried to come up from here, was not able to break, one time, two times, three times. Again, it gave a false breakout, went down again. Again, it came up, but reversed from 60,000. Why? So what is the resistance from me? My resistance is 60,000, from where the price is making reversals once, twice, thrice, 4 times. So if a chart breaks a particular resistance, it will go up very fast. It will go up very fast. So basically, you can always consider it as a ceiling and a floor. So if you break the ceiling, you will go up very fast like a rocket. If you break the floor, you will go down very fast into the next floor, wherever is the next support. So this is the concept of resistance and support. How we find resistance and support is we will discuss in more detail in upcoming sessions. But the broad concept about resistance and support is nothing but the price points from where the particular stock or a script has made a significant reversal more than 1 time or 2 times. So you can see here. So this is acting. So this is a static resistance. Static resistance means 60,000. Whenever price is coming to 60,000, it is taking resistance. You can see from here again coming down, from here again coming down. Here it gave a false breakout. Again it started to come up again came down. Now this is what we call as dynamic support and resistance. Dynamic support resistance means This is a channel. It came up, again came down. It came up, again came down. Try to come up, not doing anything. Now when it broke here, then it pumped. You can see the beauty. Once it broke this particular channel, it just rocketed like anything from 36,000 to 40, close to 50,000. So today we have learned a lot of concepts. We have learned about candlesticks. First of all, we have learned about technical analysis. All this is technical analysis. You know, instead of going into a lot of literature, all this is what we call as technical analysis. You will get a chart. You have to make chart patterns. There are different types of chart patterns. There are something called wedges, pole and flag, cup and holder, head and shoulders. There are many different types of patterns. So how these patterns have been designed is based on the old statistical data. That okay, people have seen that whenever there is a channel breakout, the price goes up immediately. So how they define a channel? A channel is where the price is getting stuck. It is getting stuck. It is not able to move out of. There is a resistance on the top side. There is a support. You can see support of this channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times it took support. And once, twice, thrice it took the resistance. So it made a channel. So now this is acting as a support. This is acting as a resistance. Once either of the resistance or support is broken, it will go up very fast. Yeah. So we have learned about the technical analysis. What is technical analysis? We have compared with technical analysis with fundamental analysis. Then we drill down as the first stepping stone of technical analysis, that is known as the candlesticks. What are different types of candlesticks? We will take it in the next session. But how the candlesticks are formed on a live chart, we have seen candlesticks forming in front of our own eyes. You can see it here. Or yeah. See, candles are forming. So as I said, for a 1 minute chart, it is difficult to find who is winning, whether bulls were winning, then now it is bear. You can always say that this is another pole and flag which is forming here, but still not broken. You can see here. Pole and now a flag is in the formation. Once the flag will be broken, market will again go up. So you can see the candles forming in front of your eyes. Let us just observe this particular candle. See, right now that candle was green, immediately it became red. Why? Because bulls are not able to fight it at this price point. Bears are winning it hands down for this particular candle. Now bulls are again fighting. They are saying, no, how can you alone win? I will also win. Now bears are giving fight. The bulls try to bring it up. Bears are bringing it down again. Now the same green candle can become a red candle if the price goes below the open price. Let us see whether it happens or not. Yeah, see, again bulls are winning. Bulls are giving a very strong fight. Whenever there will be fluctuation in the price, there will be fluctuation in the candle. Let us see how it behaves. Another 14 seconds, 13 seconds, there will be another candle will be formed. See, now bulls are saying, forget, now we are back into the market. You have been able to bring us down from 48,800 and 900 to 48,600. Now we are fighting back. And this can be a breaking of a pole and flag kind of pattern. Let's see. So how you can make channels is nothing when you can see, some 2 or 3 points where you can draw a particular line and you can see the beauty. Market will reverse exactly from those points. But if it breaks, it will go up very fast. Let us see. Now, no bears. This is a bear zone. It has brought down from 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times bears are able to fight it at this particular dynamic resistance. This is resistance, this is support. But this is a dynamic resistance. Why? Because there is a downward channel. Every point, this is one resistance, this is one resistance, this is one resistance, this is one resistance. But the resistance points, if we join, we can find a channel. Whichever way this channel will be broken, there will be an immediate movement. So still fight is happening between the bulls and the bears. 48 seconds, and we'll go into another candle. You can see the pattern here. Let us see whether we are able to break the pattern or it will go down again. It will break the pattern, it will make some big candles. If it will go down, it will still remain in the channel. So see, bulls are now fighting it out. Even at these points, bears are not able to hold their ground. And bulls are fighting now. But see, the same green candle became red candle. Why? Because bears again brought the price down from this point to this point. So see, in front of your eyes, the magic is happening. Bulls are fighting again. We are into the next candle. Now let us see. This is the open price for this particular candle. Howsoever will be the movement, we will get the high and the low, and then wherever the candle will close, we will get the close price. So right now there is nothing is happening. Bulls and bears both are fighting it out, but nothing is happening. Nobody is able to win. It's like a contest between the two. So now we'll move to question and answers immediately after we close this particular candle. Yeah, so you can see now the candle is going down. Now bears are winning. Now bulls are winning again. So in 1 minute candle, it is very difficult to take a decision. Why? Because the time frame is very small. The conviction is not just from the size of the candles, but also the time frame. If I'm taking a one day candle, I'll get a better conviction than a 1 minute candle. So we close the candle. So bears, they tried to bring it down a bit, but were not able to bring it down. Bulls again brought the price up, and now they have sort of broken a channel. Ideally, they should be pumping the price up. So guys, that was about today's session. Let me know if there are any questions about today's session, about how, if there are any particular doubts you are having about candles, etc. Or I hope I was able to convey the idea about what is technical analysis, what are candles, what is a candlestick. Yeah, yes, please go ahead.
Hello. Hi, am I audible?
Yeah,
Hello?
you are.
Yeah. All right. So first of all, thank you so much for the session. I have just a couple of quick doubts based on this session. The number one was we learned about the technical analysis and the fundamental analysis, the difference and their uses and pros and cons, right?
Yeah.
So there was a statement which you made about the fundamental analysis that basically fundamental analysis, if someone uses this terminology, then he or she is supposed to consider all of the noises as well, right? So I just want to understand from the perspective of a trader, like if there is a trader who wants to learn or observe the market, so he should learn both of the analysis or strictly concentrate on technical, because a trader is not looking out for, long-term basis. He's looking for like maybe some kind of short, quick profit. So that's my question. Like, is it good to learn both of them, or one should concentrate on, technical and make it a, like
Yeah.
really good foundation on it? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
So, as I mentioned in the initial phase of our discussions, the more knowledge you will have, the more you will be able to get the money from the other person's pocket. So if you know the skill of both fundamental and technical, I mean, there is nothing like that. If you are very well versed with the fundamentals of a particular company and the future growth potential, the financials, you know how to read the P&L statement, the balance sheets of the company, and then your decision making will be more informed. If you know the technical analysis, your decision in making will be more informed in the short term. With fundamental, you can couple it up with the long term conviction as well. So whenever you will be going into a particular trade, the more knowledge bag you will have of that particular stock, the better it is. The better are the probabilities of taking the trade into your favor. So the more you know, the better. But from a trader's perspective, I think technical analysis makes more sense, because fundamental analysis is over a period of 1 quarter, half year, 1 year. That's when you get the results and you see whether the market is behaving in that particular scenario or not. And if the COVID is happening immediately, today COVID is happening, tomorrow it will not happen, or tomorrow it will happen more. It depends on how the fluctuations will happen in the market. But fundamental analysis is more of a long-term perspective. For a trader, technical analysis and having the technical skill set makes more sense. But the more, the better.
Great. Thanks. I have just two more questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you also mentioned like we observed that like you were using different time frames, right? Like 1 minute, 5 minute, and different time frames.
Yeah.
And based on that, like the entire chart was changing simultaneously, right?
Yeah.
So again, like which one represents more noise, or which one like I'm just trying to understand, like one day because I was learning myself that one day candlestick help us in getting an overview, right? Like how the that particular stock, performed on that, on daily basis. So
Yeah.
it gives an overview. So, like, what one can consider a particular, time frame to be, like kind of an ideal, not too much of noise and not too much of, volatility or stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're if you're learning the trade and you're in the learning phase, it is better to trade with daily candles instead of 15 minutes or 30 minutes candles. It is always better to trade in daily candles. But when you start gaining the technical knowledge over a period of time, then of course one can go and start trading on 15 minutes, 5 minutes. But it's all about the learning curve. So people generally start with even with weekly candles. So I started when I was 4 years back. I started with weekly candles. From weekly candles came down to daily candles, and now my tradings are based mostly on 15-minute candles. So more, I mean, it's not about the noise, but also not just about the noise, but also about the conviction in the trade. So, how much conviction you are holding will be given not just by the body of the candle, but also by the time frame, as we discussed. So 1 day candle, a strong bullish candle will give you a stronger conviction than a strong bullish candle in 1 minute, right? So just to see the beauty here, I mean, we just discussed that once this particular channel will be broken, you will see a strong up move. So you can see once this particular channel was broken somewhere around 48,693, there is a strong move. Is this magic? No, it is just about some kind of technical knowledge. Right?
So for building this channel, there is no specific angle like which one needs to use. Like
No.
as you mentioned, no angle required.
No. That's not about angles. It's all about the channels. So you can see now there's a strong, now at this point of time, nothing is happening. What basically is happening is more buyers are now, because whosoever knows technical analysis, they will know how to make an entry here. And once they make the entry here, they will start enjoying the profits. So once you get more buyers means more up movement in the price. So once this channel is broken, there is a movement of close to around 0.2% within 5 minutes. 0.2% within 5 minutes, you get 5% FD for 365 days. So you can multiply and see, if you know the technical analysis, how much money one can make. But it is always better to trade minimum of 15 minutes or 1 day candles to start with, not with 1 minute scenarios.
Well, just one last question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Like there were a couple of stocks which I was just observing very closely. For example, there was a stock named CDSL, right? So just a month back, like it was usually trading around 970 rupees per stock. But like I don't like there was some news that since past 1 year, like there were more than 1 CR accounts have been opened, like demat accounts, because of which it rallied up. So there are companies which have seen significant rally, but because of which there was something called BE, like CDSL BE, or a company name BE, right? And I was just trying to Google it and learn about that, and it mentioned that no intraday is allowed. So can you please help me out in order to understand what is the meaning of this? Like why a company switches from a normal category stock and it jumps to a BE category, and then again it jumps back to a normal category. So what is the point of it, or like why does it happen? Like, what is the
So there are some stocks in which FIIs they can only have a particular, they have a limit. FIIs are nothing but foreign institutional investors. So the trading from FIIs perspective is put on hold if the percentage of holding of that particular stock goes above a particular percentage. Let's say for BHEL, SAIL, etc. I think it is around 90%. So whenever the FII holding goes above 90%, they put a hold on the trading part or the futures part of that particular stock. One can buy and take the delivery. That's an entirely different scenario. But there are restrictions from SEBI to keep retail investors money in hand. And once they see that there are huge fluctuations in a particular stock, there can be a probability that operators are trying to make a fool out of the retailers. So it is about who can make a fool out of the other person and snatch the money. So stock market is all about that. It shows your street smartness.
So, but it happened with another stock such as Adani. Like there are a couple of companies, right? In CDL case, it rallied up, but after that, Suchita Dalal's tweet, because of which it fell like around 15-20% in a single day. Then while falling down, it also converted into a BE. So as you mentioned in your previous statement, that if FI's holding is more than, let's say, 90%, then
trading
so
is not
again, so intraday is not allowed, but one can buy it.
One can buy and take a delivery of that particular stock. That is not an issue. So SAIL, for example, SAIL, when it was in restriction for FII trading, it was still available for people who want to do holdings. So they can always buy and sell the stock in the normal stock market and not the futures.
Understood. All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, please, Anshu.
Yeah. Hi, Raman. Thank you for the session. It was really very insightful. And I'm very new to all this, so like not even a beginner, you can say pre-beginner if there's a stage like that. So I have a very, very basic question. Like, I believe these technical tools, must be from paid sources. I think so. So do we have anything in public domain, or if it is available on subsidized rate, so that we can explore it and we can play with it and all the concept that you gave about the candlestick and the resistance support channel, so that in a practical way, if we can go and check then it makes whatever you learned more ingrained, right?
So Anshu, a very good question, but the thing is that most of these indicators and these candles, etc., are freely available in the public domain. You can go to this particular site called tradingview.com, and you can put any particular stock, let's say Reliance, for example. So Reliance Industries, you'll get a stock for Reliance Industry. So they are not giving, this tradingview.com is not giving you any kind of view whether to buy or sell or any indicator, but it is giving you a chart. You can always put indicators. Indicators are all also free. Some of them are not. Mostly advanced versions are not free, but most of the indicators are free. And you can see that all the indicators are available in public domain, and you can make a buy and sell call based on how much conviction you are having in a particular trade. So even if you are a newbie, you can still do a practice. There is a website called just a minute, it's called the website is known as NeoStocks. Yeah, so this is the website. You can note it down. It's called neostocks.com. You can sign up here. Let me just sign it from the one that I am having. I mean, people make real money in stock market. I mean, if the required skill is there. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so this is called NeoStocks. You can always go, and when the market is running, let's say Reliance Industries, you can add it on that. You can buy, you can put different kind of orders, that the one that we discussed in the last session. Maybe you can just go through that particular session. So whether you want to do intraday or you want to do overnight, which is also known as delivery, you want to buy it on the market price or a limit price. If it is a limit price, that means currently Reliance Industries is available at 2148.25. What price you want to buy? I want to buy it at 2140. So whenever the price will reach 2140 or lower, my target, my position will be triggered. So this is a very good website. It gives you, I think, 10 lakh rupees at the start. It's like a virtual money. And you can always do practice here I would suggest do practice for first 10, 15, 20, 30 days. Get yourself used to how the trading actually happens. This also gives how much is your, let's say I have bought 100 shares of Reliance. At the end of the day, how much is my PNL? I mean, how much money I have made, whether I have made some money or lost money, that will be showing in this particular dashboard. So this is a very good website to do virtual trading to start with. It has all, I mean, it will not be having the charts with that kind of efficiency. For charts, you can always go to tradingview.com and you can see, and I mean, make your kind of patterns, see whether the price should go up, whether price should go on based on the technical knowledge that you have. So you can use the charts from here, and then you can take the calls on new stocks, and then you can see how your day-wise summary, day-to-day PNL, mark to market. So basically, if you have invested 2000 rupees in Reliance, if the price has gone to 2100 rupees and you are still holding that particular stock, you are making 100 rupees M2M. M2M gain. Let's say if it goes down by 100 rupees, you are making a loss of 100 rupees at the end of the day. So these are the two websites which one can use.
Okay, perfect. This is going to help. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so guys, if there's no other question, I think we can close the session. In the next session, we'll be discussing about the types of candlesticks and how to trade different types of candles. So this session also, I will be sharing the presentation and the link of the YouTube in that particular WhatsApp group. If there are any questions during the week also, I'll be more than happy to help. Please post your questions in that WhatsApp channel, and I will be taking those questions one by one. Yeah. So thank you. Thanks a lot, everyone, for your valuable time. I hope the session was of some help and some interesting inputs you have got during this particular session. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.